Hi, everyone. I'm Barry Stagner, and this is his channel Newsbreak. The Palestinian militant group Islamic Jihad and Israel declared a halt to hostilities across the Gaza Strip border on Thursday, but a lasting ceasefire appeared tenuous as they differed on the terms of the agreement. The Egyptian-mediated truce went into effect at 3:30 Greenwich Mean Time, about 48 hours after Israel triggered the exchange of fire by killing the Iranian-backed faction's top Gaza commander in an airstrike, deeming him to be an imminent threat. A few hours calm ensued, then witnesses in Gaza saw 5 rockets being launched and sirens sounded in Israeli border towns. There was no word of casualties, and Israel's military said 2 rockets were shot down by its Iron Dome air defense system. Gaza medical officials have put the total death toll from the 2 days of fighting at 34 Palestinians, almost half of them civilians, including 8 children and 3 women. Hundreds of rocket launches by militants had paralyzed much of southern Israel and reached as far north as Tel Aviv, sending thousands of people to shelters. Dozens of Israelis were hurt. Hamas, Gaza's dominant faction, appeared to have stayed out of this round of fighting. That may have helped stem the escalation. Islamic Jihad said Israel had accepted its demand to stop both the targeted killing of militants and sometimes lethal army gunfire at the weekly Palestinian protests on the Gaza border. The ceasefire began under Egyptian sponsorship after the occupation submitted to the conditions set by the Islamic Jihad on behalf of Palestinian resistance factions, and Islamic Jihad spokesman Musa al-Bahrim said. But Israel said it would observe only a quid pro quo. Quiet will be answered with quiet, Foreign Minister Israel Katz told Army Radio. As Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan arrives in the United States for a White House meeting with Donald Trump, part of a Trump effort to normalize Turkish ethnic cleansing on the Turkish-Syrian border, U.S. military sources are letting it be known that the U.S. has video of some of that ethnic cleansing in action. The Wall Street Journal reported that the United States has drone-based footage of Turkish-backed fighters targeting civilians during the sweep into northern Syria, both a war crime and evidence that the Turkish incursion was not, as the Turkish government has claimed, aimed solely at Kurdish militants. It is not the only video evidence of apparent war crimes, the journal reports, that the U.S. sent up a monitoring drone after multiple videos posted to social media showed roadside executions and the assassination of a Kurdish politician as U.S. troops were retreating from the area. More public protests are expected during the latest Erdogan visit, and the steps the Secret Service may be taking to deter Erdogan's security team from committing similar violent acts this time around, however, are not known. Chinese authorities announced Tuesday that 2 people have been diagnosed with pneumonic plague at a hospital in Beijing. Yes, this is the Black Plague that wiped out some 50 million people during the Middle Ages. Alarmingly, it's the second instance of the plague hitting the region in a matter of months after last May a Mongolian couple died from bubonic plague, consuming the raw kidney of a marmot based on a local practice. Bubonic plague bacteria from a January 2003 case via the CDC Fox News officials said the 2 in this latest case also came from a remote area of Inner Mongolia in northern China. Well, our last story reminds us, in the last days there will be a rise of pestilence or disease in the last days, giving us today's reminder to keep looking up.